It's actually like just never ending. So it's like once you get to this
It's
goalpost, I
like
mean,
laundry.
yeah, you just
You're
push the
always doing
goalpost.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a
Uh,
never-ending task.
yeah.
Hey guys, Alex Rich.
Ben Poremba.
Hey, we are excited to let you know that we have episodes of our podcast, Jews in the Lou, dropping every other week, and you're not going to want to miss. We have some great guests lined up.
Amazing. And while I have you, I want to thank the St. Louis Jewish Light for their incredible partnership and support of our podcast. The St. Louis Jewish Light doing amazing work for our community, keeping us informed with stories, with updates.
And visit stljewishlight.org. Subscribe to their newsletter. They'll keep you up to date on everything going on.
Absolutely. Well, see you soon.
All right, perfect. Adam Stark, I appreciate you hanging out, joining me today for Jews in the Lou. You're a fan of the show, you said, so you reached out and you had kind of an interesting story. We've never met. We've never really had a deep conversation. We've gotten to know each other a little bit, and but I'm excited that we can kind of dive in and get to know a lot more about you, kind of what you do here in St. Louis, and then talk about some of the things that like St. Louis has obviously done for you in supporting your business, and we'll get into some of the Arch Grant stuff. But where are you from? Tell me about yourself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first of all, thank you for having me,
Yeah.
and thank you for putting this show together in general. I think it's an awesome idea, fellow podcaster. So I appreciate the, I mean, one, just the effort in doing it, and two is kind of creating the community around what the purpose is,
Yeah.
right? Jews in the Lou, and
Yeah.
it's really cool.
How when you first heard of Jews in Lieu or saw us, what was your kind of immediate, I guess, reaction? How did it like what stuck out, I guess? As far as from there's a lot of
Yeah, yeah,
podcasts out there,
yeah.
right? So you have a lot of options, but I guess what stuck out is something like, oh, this is like kind of cool because that's what we're going for. Like
Yeah.
we want to celebrate Jewish people in St. Louis
Yeah.
and St. Louis as a whole, but I want to hear like what is that to you?
Yeah, I mean, first thing that came to my mind, which is kind of what I just mentioned, alluded to, is just community, right? I mean,
Mhm.
if you're living in St. Louis, Greater St. Louis, and you're Jewish, like I don't know, I feel you see that branding, the podcast, the purpose itself, right? Nice, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Are
Cool
you
idea.
from St. Louis?
My wife is.
Okay. What
Yeah.
parts?
Shout out to her.
High school? Do we want to say what high school she went to?
Yeah, so I know that's a thing.
Uh-huh.
And
You don't even remember?
I feel like if I heard it, I would know, but I
Okay.
forgot. So,
All right, that's fair.
Yeah.
I don't mean to put you on the spot. Then your wife's gonna be like, "You don't know where I went to high school? Are you kidding me?"
So yeah, to answer your question, I'm not from. I'm not
Okay,
from
where are
St.
you
Louis.
originally from?
Originally California, so
Okay.
I split like childhood was California and New Jersey, and I've
Uh-huh.
really bounced around since. I've kind of almost lived in a dozen different places,
Yeah.
equal amount of time at this point.
How did you land on St. Louis?
So my wife, we met in New York City.
Okay.
My wife is from here. She got into WashU Med, and her family is here. Now we have a boy, a baby boy.
Nice.
and-
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And we intend to continue growing a
Yeah.
family. So, when we were in New York City and she was doing the whole med school process, getting a school that is not in a major city
Mhm.
when family and family is in mind,
Right.
it was a no brainer. And again, her family's here, so not random at all for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. What were you doing in New York at the time when you guys met? Because I know now you're here, you own a business, and we'll get into that a little bit. But was it the same business that
Yeah.
you had there?
Yeah,
Talk
exactly.
about that. So Jet Build.
Correct.
Okay, talk about Jet Build. You're in the technology space a
Yeah.
little bit. So you were doing that there. How did you even get into that or know that that's what you wanted to
Yeah.
explore?
So I started my civilian career. I started working for builders in New York City. So
Okay.
we're building high-rise mixed-use properties. So that's like hotel, residential on top, and then on the ground floor or first few floors is like commercial space, like
Right.
retail, and then below that could be like parking, for example. Hence the word mixed use.
Yeah.
And in that experience, I basically realized the necessity for a proper project management solution.
Okay.
This solution exists in the market. It's generally speaking led by one kind of monopoly of a company,
Okay.
which leads to your typical super expensive, clunky product because
Mhm.
it was built many years ago at this point.
Right.
So that's the inception of Jet Build. Is my business partner and I, we built it for ourselves first and foremost, and it kind of segued into a real business.
Yeah.
So we kicked that off when we were back, when I was still back in New York City, and have since grown it especially coming to St. Louis and winning the Arch Grants, which I know is something we're going to
Yeah.
talk about more.
Yeah, so the Arch Grant, I know a little bit about the Arch Grant, but I mean, talk more about that. How did you get into the position where you were set up for an Arch Grant? Because I know you
Yeah.
you either apply or you get nominated, or I don't know exactly how that works.
Yeah.
You submit for it, but I mean, obviously, what you do makes the lives of builders and the companies that they're building for easier, right? Is that kind of,
Yeah.
I guess, the layman's terms?
Yeah. So like the product itself is, it's very like in the weeds, but I'll give a short explanation so it's development and construction management software.
Uh huh.
And it'll do things like, if you can imagine, every project has a budget, every project has a schedule, has a set of drawings.
Right.
And then the balance is like very much, in the weeds industry nuances. So yes, to what you said, is just simplifying what everybody is already doing on job sites
Yeah.
to build a project successfully. And then like at a more kind of general concept, it's indexing data properly so that
Uh-huh.
AI can be leveraged forward. That's like a more forward thinking.
So you're a tech, like your background, you're a tech guy.
So my partner's is more so the tech
Uh-huh.
of the two of us. So he's in the weeds on code all day, every day.
Yeah.
And then I'm more on the business side of things.
How do you feel? I mean, but overall, it's a technology
Correct. Yeah.
based
Technology
company.
Correct.
How do you feel? I don't have these conversations with a ton of people
Yeah.
all the time, but how do you feel about like AI? This isn't
Yeah.
obviously something I plan to ask you, but like
No
let's
worries, yeah.
we'll go that direction. Like, because I don't personally use it all that much, or as much as I should.
Yeah.
And I know that people that do use it love it, and people that understand it like it does help you do things in a much more easy and efficient way. But I guess in your space, how do you guys feel about AI and the direction of it?
Yeah, so there's like two sides to it. One is what I'll call the back end, the other is the front end. So on the back end perspective, it's absolutely incredible. So for example, for coding, it's literally like an entry level coder for us. So it's
Really,
support-
does that much?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So it really allows us to do a lot more with less like internal overhead,
Mhm.
right? Internal people.
Yeah.
And then on the business internal side, as it relates to marketing materials, supporting and just copy for whether it be like sales outreach or again marketing
Uh-huh.
perspective, it's unbelievable as well. Helping digest large sets of data
Right.
to then output good information for like white papers, or also for my podcast, right? It's making edits for me.
Mhm.
So that's all like the back end perspective.
Yeah.
On a product perspective, what we're doing is really kind of in a similar way to how you'd use like a chat GPT.
Mhm.
The issue in our industry is that data, generally speaking, that's what I was alluding to before, is fractured. So you have like your trades, you have your GC, you have the developer, you have everybody's in their own silo.
Right, right.
So information, you can't like Google, what was the cost of steel on this project?
Right.
It doesn't exist like in public space. So
Sure.
what we're doing is indexing all that information for our client. And now they can ask our platform, they can ask Jet, questions via our Copilot along those lines, right? Like, what was the cost of this on that project? Is the electrician being held up because of XYZ?
Right.
So it's creating like an internal chat GPT for their data.
It
ecosystem.
streamlines it for them.
Yeah. It's like an assistant.
It sounds honestly so confusing but I guess that's why you're making it simple so people don't have to deal with that part of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's all
You
just
understand
standards.
it so that they don't have to.
Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna say that's like I'm not a numbers guy or technology guy, but like I like to think that maybe in the same way you're kind of like the person that just coordinates it all. Like,
Yeah.
I deal like in the event space a lot or whatever. If
Mhm.
two people want to connect, it's like I kind of help bring that together and bring it to life where it's like, yeah, you're ultimately the, you're the person that's doing not the contracting, but like the connecting, I guess,
Mhm.
ultimately between it all. It's cool.
Yeah.
And so Jet, to be honest with you, when I first saw Jet build, I was like, oh, it has something to do with jets. What is there a background for the name?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. So
you do things fast,
Yeah,
maybe
there you go.
jet speed.
Yeah, there you go.
And that's kind of what I took away from it.
Yeah, exactly. So there's the obvious, which is exactly what you said. The .build is also obvious, right? That's like
Uh-huh.
our literal URL. So like jet.build is our website. And then beyond like, doing things fast, like, think about other elements of what a jet is, right? It's like
Mhm.
technology, it's speed, it's power, it's
Yeah.
advanced. It's kind
No,
of
I
along
like it.
those
It's
lines.
great. It's
Yeah.
great. So the Arch Grant, I want to talk about
Yeah,
that
yeah.
because I know I've heard about the Arch Grant. How did you first come across the Arch Grant and like talk about what that is first?
Yeah. So, just been very active on LinkedIn just for, business purposes. It
Mhm.
popped up, LinkedIn did its algorithm thing. So that's how I came across it.
Okay.
Um, Going into the process, I thought it was, okay, here's, a local grant that has, connections with, the
Mhm.
city and local business and whatever it is. I'm going to apply. I'm going to get a check and great. If I get it, right. If I win,
Right.
I'll get a check and great. That's what I thought going into it.
Right.
Um, I'll loop into, what it actually is and such, but the process is like applying to anything, right? You submit your information,
Yep.
like what your company is, you do the whole, what is that? Application.
Right.
You get an interview first, and then there's several rounds
Okay.
of like interviews with different people internal to Arch Grants itself.
Okay.
And then if you make it to the final round, then you present to a panel. And the panel is made up of, I guess it's like people on their board or that are involved with the program
Right.
itself. So like industry leaders. And you're presenting to, they create like buckets for the companies. So like there's relevance to who you're presenting to. So they
Mhm.
have like at least some conceptual, relevance to your product or
Right.
company
Right.
and whatever. So that's like the process generally speaking. We are talking about this before, and the data would be easy to find. I just don't remember on the top of my head, but I know there's like a few hundred that apply, and there's
Yep.
some like 10, 15 or whatever that get awarded the grant itself.
Right.
Now going back to what it is, I've been unbelievably surprised in like a extremely positive way in terms of how one legitimate the entire program is,
Right.
and how much they support the winners, like the cohort. Um, so they provide one connections, generally speaking, to um, in many different ways. One is like they'll try to connect you with potential business.
Mhm.
Two is they'll connect you with their board and other people that are involved with Arch Grants
Right.
that can help you for whether it be advice, whether it be support in one way or the
Sure.
other. So I've leveraged that a ton so far, and it's been extremely helpful.
But it's more than just the money component,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it totally is. They run programs all the time, like workshops for a million different reasons. They have a really nice office space in St. Louis City itself, where I work out of. Just randomly throughout the week,
Mhm.
2, 3 days a week.
Yeah.
So it's like a co-working area as well. Um, yeah, they got events. I mean, it's an unbelievable program.
And you can only do the Arch Grant one time, right? You can win it one time or
So they this is actually, I think, very recent, as of a year, maybe 2 years ago, where as a winner of the like initial program, you can
Mhm.
apply to, I forgot how they worded it, but I
Yeah.
think you could apply as like a follow on if you're successful in the program, because
Mhm.
they want to see you succeed.
How moving back here with the family. So is your wife Jewish?
Yeah,
Okay. So and you're Jewish.
yeah,
You grew up Jewish as
right,
well.
yeah.
So do you feel, I guess, like from the Jewish perspective now going from New York back to St. Louis where her family is, do you feel like that's helped grow your business as well? Like do you feel you're in a different like mental mindset now that you are surrounded by family? Because I don't know if you said, did you have any family in New York or anything when you were up there?
Yeah, yeah, sorry. So my all my family right now, my immediate family is in New York.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So they're all there, like my siblings and my parents.
Okay.
Um, but in terms of the shift, is actually surprisingly good. And I
Okay.
say surprisingly because obviously if you're in New York City, you're in New York City, right?
Right.
It's one of the major cities in the
Right.
world, right? Um, Moving here, I had literally zero idea of this, and I realized it just from driving around in the first like 2 months, as I was just seeing like logos or billboards of like massive general contracting
Right.
firms.
Right.
Right. So like after a few times, I started picking up. I'm like, wait, what is it? What
That a
is
lot of them
Yeah,
are
like
here
what's
in
going
St.
on?
Louis. Yeah. Yeah.
So it just happens to be St. Louis is actually like a hub for a lot of these major general contracting
Right.
firms, probably because it's central to the U.S. and it's
Mhm.
easier for them to get a lot of projects across the
Yeah.
U.S.
Yeah.
So being here as a hub accordingly. So that's one. There actually is relevance for industry, which
Right.
I didn't know there would be. Second is I was in New York City for 10 years, so I
Okay.
kind of I hit my limit anyways. Like I was itching for an out per
Okay.
se. Um, I don't know if you've lived there at all.
I've never lived in New York, but I've loved visiting New York.
Yeah,
And I always say that New York to me, and we've had a lot of people on the show that are either from New York or lived
Yeah.
in New York for a time. I've always said for me, it seems like I really like visiting there, and it'd be cool to live there for maybe a few weeks or so at a time.
yeah,
But I don't know. I like having a car. Like I
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I like the convenience of St. Louis, like the ability, like you said, you're working with a lot of contractors, like the ability to go meet somebody face to face. I know that it's different in New York. You have like, subway and transit and all that different stuff, and everything's very walkable.
Mhm.
But I feel like, here in St. Louis, you do get a lot more of a personal connection because a lot of the people you're doing business with, you may also see out to dinner, or you might see like around in the community and stuff. And like, we're all going to like mostly the same few places in town for like events, whether it
Mhm.
be downtown for for a sporting event, or out to Chesterfield for a concert at the factory, wherever that may be. I just feel like for me, the ease of doing all that here,
Yeah.
I love it. And I couldn't do that in New York.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, how do you feel? You've experienced both now.
I think like New York, if starting your career, it's really an incredible place.
Yeah.
Because you just get exposed to like everything in such a small area.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a great learning curve, and the pace there is it's nuts.
It's
Like,
quick.
it's
It's
really
quick
nuts.
pace.
Yeah, and
Did you feel like when you came back here, it was like you were moving faster than kind of some of the people around you, or how did you feel like?
yeah, but it's good. Like again, like I already knew that I hit like for myself, right?
Yeah.
Just personally, that's my own experience. But like I knew I was hitting the limit. Like I was just like burning myself out there.
Mm-hmm.
What also is a funny nuance that these are all like kind of hindsight, right?
Yeah.
Recognitions. Um, New York City has become like a hub for startups too, right?
Okay.
So it's some like crazy stat now. Like they're like equal to what your typical like Silicon
Uh-huh.
Valley perception is, right?
Right.
So whatever, whether it's the same or a little bit less, whatever, they're like top two, like New York City and
Yeah.
California. So coming here, it's actually a like breath of fresh air, right? Because you're not one of a trillion people like
Right.
trying to, tell someone that you're
Right.
like this new startup doing cool
But
things.
there
or
are a
whatever.
lot of startups here, right? I mean, like I think part of that is like the Arch Grants and the other like facilities. I think around with WashU and
sure, yeah.
and SLU. I think that also, but again, yeah, nothing like New York. It's just
It's nuts.
the competition is just probably just insane.
Yeah, it's just insane. Yeah.
But that's great. So you're here. The pace is slowed down. Are you guys members? Like, do you go to synagogue anywhere in town?
Yeah. So, oh man, I'm gonna forget. Like in the Chesterfield area, like where my in-laws live.
Okay.
We go like high holidays.
United
Giants
Hebrew.
weekend.
Is that where you're going?
No, damn, I would know it if this
We'll have
is.
the search.
I gotta also say like new dad brain. Like
I was gonna say, how does that feel?
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Nights are really tough.
Okay.
Our son's 5 months old now.
Okay.
So like we're still in the phase
What's his name?
of Boaz.
Boaz.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Are
thanks.
you? Where are you? What's your background? Where's your family originally from?
Yeah. So my mom's born in Morocco and my dad's born in Hungary.
Okay, I thought so. With a name like that, I guess that's an easier way to ask. But
yeah.
that's interesting. So who's from Morocco?
My mom.
Your mom Ben is from Morocco.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ben couldn't be here today, but yeah, Ben's from Morocco. I think he actually is he's in North Africa right now,
in
like
one of those
doing
trips,
his
yeah.
doing a trip.
Yeah.
And the pictures look unbelievable. Have
Yeah.
you been?
Yeah.
Okay, so talk about your background a little bit. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, Morocco, and then what was your dad was?
Hungry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been to Morocco. Talk
Yeah.
all that.
So actually, what's funny is
Because I was gonna say the name, did it come from somewhere? That's where this was all going.
yeah. So the name is it's Hebrew name, right? It's biblical. It's from
Okay.
Book of Ruth. We named him Boaz intentionally because we wanted an Israeli name. Like we
Okay.
wanted his Hebrew name to be his name.
I like it.
And then there's other connection points. Like Ruth is Danielle, my wife's grandmother, who passed. So like it was a means of kind
Yeah.
of,
Yeah.
having that respect. But fun before I'll digress here. My parents were visiting. I think it was a month ago now, like last month, So we went and ate at Esca because that's our
Oh yeah,
it's our favorite restaurant. It is.
it's great.
It just is. Yeah.
It's great.
And Ben was there, and so we said hi, and we had a great conversation.
Awesome.
With, did some like we started digging into like the family tree thing,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we stopped.
There's
before
got to
going
be
down the rabbit hole.
relation somewhere
Exactly.
along the way.
That was it.
And now you're both in St. Louis.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
it's funny. But yeah, so background, yeah, my mom's born in Morocco, my dad's in Hungary, so I'm actually first generation American,
Okay.
which is it's pretty interesting to like think about just like the kind of melting pot dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because are you also a veteran, right?
Yeah, Israel, yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what, you were IDF?
correct, yeah,
No ways. Okay, talk about that experience. Because
yes.
now we're getting to like, we want to highlight your business, of course, of what you do, but it's more important about like you, because like I said, I knew you had like kind of a unique story, but I'm
Yeah.
learning way more than I would have ever thought.
Yeah.
So, okay, talk about that, like that background and the experience in the IDF.
Yeah, so again, like being first generation, I was able to grow up in a circumstance where I understood that.
Were you
right?
living in Israel?
I was when?
Ever?
Yeah, so like I grew up going there very often. I did a few elongated programs, I'll call it. Like one was through high school, and summers I went a few times. So like
Okay.
I went there for extended periods, relatively speaking,
Okay.
growing up.
Okay.
And then at 18, I moved there and served.
Okay.
Um,
That makes sense.
yeah. But yeah, just like the way I kind of I guess recall the desire to go was really because my parents really forcefully came to America
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they both had to leave the countries they were born in. I guess that always that led me to realize at an early age like the importance of Israel.
Yeah.
So that was I guess the background to that.
It's very,
Um,
I mean, this is like valuable information right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's like, again, way deeper than I would have thought for sure. But because candidly, like, I'm not necessarily someone that would be, I would say, even brave enough to go like do something like that. I mean, I think it takes a lot of like courage, and I think
Sure.
it takes a lot of like, um, you know, bravery, honestly. So you clearly had to have a good reason to go do it. And so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So I mean, it's classic, like the true, real definition of Zionism, which
Yeah.
is just the realization that we have a right to exist and have a right to have our homeland. And I felt that at an early age because of my background, my parents' background.
Yeah.
And I really grew up like I grew up, really, really with my mom's side of the family. So like my grandparents and my aunts and uncles and cousins and such. So very like Moroccan
Uh-huh.
style household, which is very obviously not American.
Uh-huh.
So that just having that kind of dynamic between
Yeah.
home and then school,
Yeah.
was obvious to me.
Did you go to school in the States?
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah, I grew up
Okay.
going to,
And then where'd you go to college anywhere?
yeah, I went to that was after my service. I went to Northeastern for
Okay.
undergrad, and then NYU for my MBA, which is how I ended up back in New York City.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, man, you've done a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
Your Moroccan side, that's, you grew up mostly with that side of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
family. Are there like, and I wish Ben was here to talk about it, but were there
Mhm.
like certain Moroccan traditions or things that you grew up with where, because this kind of takes us to like the Jewish traditions
Yeah.
that like different families have. Are there things that stick out to you from your childhood that you like hope to carry on, or you still do, or that are like important to you to rub off on the rest of your family now?
Yeah, totally. I mean, we were, what's really tough, and I struggle with this dynamic, like
Mhm.
moving forward in the thought process of like family and where we're living and so on and so forth. But growing up, like literally every weekend, if not more than every week, if not, weeknights and weekend, we were at my grandparents with like my aunts and uncles and cousins.
Mhm.
So just all the time with family. Um, Food is massively important and hugely
Yeah.
cultural. Just like obscene amounts of food, just
I'm sure.
always.
And interesting food, right?
And
Different than what you'd have. Is there a food item that sticks out?
I mean, the classics would be like couscous and Moroccan fish with that,
Mhm.
or the chicken, Moroccan chicken with
You
that
say the
couscous
fish. Ben always says his favorite food group is fatty fish. He
Awesome.
made his own food group and said it's fatty
Yeah,
fish.
yeah, I hear that.
It doesn't sound appealing to me at all, but with your Moroccan background, it sounds like there's obviously a lot of fish at many of the different events that you're at.
Yeah, yeah, totally. But yeah, I mean, those would be like the two, I guess, really classic ones that people would be able to relate to. Boulettes would be another, which are like um, they're not sliders, but like slider equivalent, like in the
Uh-huh.
Moroccan version, like beef patties essentially.
Right.
And they could also be fish though. They could be fish patties, and yeah, just food was huge. Food, family were like the two main things. The other really funny one, and if there's any other Moroccans listening, I think they might be able to relate, is any event, you have to be like, especially if it's a family event, like you have to be the last person by like 10 hours. Like the
Uh-huh.
event would have been over, at 10 p.m. and you're there until like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
just because you are like,
Yeah.
you just have to be.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's not a bad trait to have. I'm
No,
always
it's good.
bad
It's
at
funny.
my wife gives me trouble because I am always when I'm saying goodbye to people,
Nice.
it's like you need to give us at least like an extra 10, 15 minutes to say goodbyes because like I don't do the Irish goodbye. I need to more often, but it's like if somebody says, "Hey, we're leaving at 10 o'clock," like I'm not out of there until 10:30. Now I
It's in that
can't
vein.
stretch it till the late hours of the night, but yeah, I mean, I feel like that's like a trait. I mean, it sounds like a Moroccan thing, but like I feel like it is a Jewish trait that
Yeah,
just a
I think
lot of
so.
people that I feel like I surround myself with have that trait. Um, but you clearly talk about family and how it's important to you. Your family's obviously come from different backgrounds, but the Jewish traditions are
Mhm.
something that's similar throughout. Are there things that have been, I guess, part of teaching her family along the way of like different traditions that you've done or like family traditions that you've accepted from your wife's side that are kind of different than how you've had to like adapt growing up, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so yeah, I totally get what you're saying. So it ends up being that like my wife and I are more um I don't know what the right I don't like orthodox not the right word, but
Uh-huh. More of like a
yeah,
conservative orthodox mix.
exactly. We're
Yeah,
more
more on the conservative
yeah
side.
than her parents. So like I'll be the one like leading in
Uh-huh.
terms of if we're together for a holiday, which
Yeah.
we typically are.
Will you guys do
Um,
Shabbat or no?
yeah, we do Shabbat.
You
Yeah,
do
yeah,
Shabbat
yeah.
every week?
As much as
As much as you
to
can.
to be fair, like she's in med school now. We have a baby.
Sure.
I'm trying to run a business. Like we're just strapped right now. But
Yeah.
just for like ability to stay
Totally.
awake past 6 p.m. Not joking, but like our intention very much is like when our son now and future kids hopefully get older,
Yeah.
we'll be a lot more serious about it, and we'll have more time when she's out of like that system, which is just brutal in terms of commitment.
Yeah, do you feel like it's something though that like is important? Like you did Shabbat growing up,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah,
So
absolutely.
how do you feel that has cuz I talked to a lot of people more recently than ever that they're either like a couple, our age or they might have grown up a certain way, but like I've noticed more and more that there's a lot of people that don't like sit down for a family meal or like they just kind of eat when they can because they're moving so quick and doing so many different things. But do you feel like it is it I don't know if prideful is the word, but do you have like pride in knowing like that you can always kind of count on Shabbat to like bring the family together and have like that set time, having a set time each week where you are like sitting down and sharing things about the week? And because I think that that's something like
Yeah.
my wife and I have talked about, like when we have kids, would be like trying to just it's a simple you could do Shabbat any number of ways that you want to do it, right?
Yeah.
It's just how you everybody's gonna do it a different way. But just the idea of Shabbat and coming together on a Friday night,
Yeah.
lighting the candles, it's like such a simple thing, but it can go such a long way when you're especially raising young kids.
Yeah.
Clearly that was something that stuck with you. Like,
Yeah,
could you have ever imagined in your life not a world where you weren't gonna try to at least have some sort of structure around that?
No, 100%. It is like a non-negotiable. Like the flex that we're in right now is, I mean, literally, like my wife has, Saturday shifts, Saturday
Mm-hmm.
rotations, like, has to be in the hospital like 6 a.m. Right. So like it just now is an outlier to like the
Yeah.
overarching theme of what life will be.
Yeah.
And also our son is 5 months old, so it just doesn't really
That's
matter yet.
fair. What kind of
Um,
medicines your wife do?
so she's in med school still. She's going to apply to dermatology
Oh,
though.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay. All
yeah.
right. Cool.
Um,
I could never do like I always think that like I was just having this conversation with um some girls that I know that are all nurses. Well, this stemmed off of because do you watch The Pit?
my wife did. I know what it is, but I haven't watched
So
it.
I'm hearing like I watch it, I love it. I
Yeah,
like I
nice.
just got into it, but it's like everybody tells me that it's the most realistic like medical show out
Nice.
there. And so I was talking to like a group of nurses that I know, and I'm just like, I don't get how you guys do any type of medicine. I think like these people are great because then you look at like, I think what you do is awesome, obviously, as well. Like you're helping build up infrastructure to like grow the economy, but like I just think nothing can compare
Yeah,
to like teachers too are the same way. My wife's a teacher,
yeah,
but anybody in medicine too, like it's just it's unbelievable. Like I
yeah,
don't know how these people do it.
yeah,
So obviously, your wife is has got some big things ahead for
yeah,
sure as
yeah,
well.
yeah. Totally, totally.
What else? What are the things that, like are what do you do? Like what do you do in your spare time? Like what drives Adam other than your family to be successful in your business? Because I know you're not working a 9 to 5. You're kind of
Right.
always thinking about it. What outside of like the actual work and family kind of drives you to grow your business?
Yeah. So you know, entrepreneurship. I think you got to be, um, like, wow, it's so there's so many ups and downs, and you got to be so self motivated to want to accomplish something that's really hard. Like
Yeah.
that's my best way of putting it. It's just like you have a challenge where all the odds are against you, and you got to just have a desire to like achieve, build something. Right. That's like the drive is to
Hmm.
accomplish something that you created and that you established and that you can grow.
So is it?
Um,
It's very important for you to when you set forward with a task that you complete that task, right?
yeah, yeah.
Like you're not
What's
somebody that easily gives up.
Yeah, what's all right. So what's really funny about it is, and like what why I was like had hesitant to
Yeah.
even answer that is like it's actually like just never ending. So it's like once you get to this
It's
goalpost, I
like
mean,
laundry.
yeah, you just
You're
push the
always doing
goalpost.
it.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a
um,
never-ending task.
yeah, it's a never ending task. I mean, especially until you get to like I don't know, a place where I guess you can relax. Like I'm
Yeah.
definitely not there yet. We're like 4 years in.
Yeah.
You gotta, you really gotta be like somewhere 10 plus minus years in to really see, okay, did I really move the needle here?
Yeah. Do you feel
Um,
like growing up with the Jewish values, that's been a big part of it? Like I as far as making sure that you are working hard to create your own opportunity because maybe especially you grew up with probably a lot more hardships than like a lot of people did and you moved around a lot and your parents,
mhm.
were asked to leave, but do you feel like you've kind of I don't know, seen the idea of like never giving up and it's been extra important to you because of your background and having to kind of create a different space?
Yeah, I think like going back to the Jewish kind of like concept to that,
Mhm.
um, at least like the communities that I've ever been around or experienced, it's just people working and making a living, right? Like
Mhm.
nobody's trying to like jip anything or
Yeah.
I don't know. They're just trying to work and have a good life, right? So I do think that there's something to that, just in terms of like culturally, you look around your community and everyone is again just trying to work and have a good life, right? Be
Yeah.
be successful in regards to professional careers.
Yeah.
So I certainly think that that has to do with it.
What is your you've done it for 4 years. What's the direction you see that like you see for yourself?
Yeah. So, really like going back to that origin story where there's really one like monopoly player in the industry. They're really at this point, um, made for like the true enterprise type builders, so like just the massive companies and your typical like
Right.
political dynamic, I'll call it,
Right.
right? Like a big company needs another big company, and that's just how it is,
That's
right?
how it's
Like
gonna work.
whatever, fine. So the balance of the industry, which is the majority of companies in the United States, why are you paying crazy amounts of money
Right.
for a product that we're doing literally objectively
Right.
the same thing? And
Right.
and I say that like, obviously I have a skewed perspective, but I would encourage anyone literally put the two platforms up against each other.
Right.
I do that all the time, and you'll see objectively we're doing the same thing, less clicks, less money,
Yeah.
better support.
Yeah.
Why
I
not?
mean, you're the company that's up and coming, but
Yeah,
you know what you're doing and you've got it figured out where it's almost like not the name brand, like expensive,
yeah,
like you said, massive type company where they're only working with other massive type companies. I think it's cool, man. I think what you do is like, obviously, I don't know a ton about that space, but I think you do a good job of explaining it. You've got like such an interesting background. I want to like hear more kind of about that in regards to like, do you speak other languages? I'm sure you speak like other languages. Like, what are some interesting like things about you? Because like, again, you wouldn't necessarily know this about
yeah.
you because I don't think that you're necessarily like a person that kind of, I don't take this away from you. I don't think that you're someone that um is going out there to show off like you're genuinely seem like you're a good dude, and
Appreciate it.
I don't think that you're doing certain things for the spotlight or whatever. Like you could be talking a lot more about winning the Arch Grant, but like it seems like you've got kind of a humble background, and like talk more about that background of just like you, dude. It's interesting.
Yeah, I generally speaking, I appreciate like conversation more than me just like yapping one side.
Yeah.
So in iterations of like asking questions that'll
It'll
help
come
me
up.
help me yeah, address something or answer something or dive deeper into
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
I mean that's just like a personality trait generally speaking,
Uh-huh.
from that perspective. But
So what other languages then do
oh
you
yeah, yeah,
speak?
sorry. So I mean Hebrew obviously, right? That
Okay.
was
Yep.
what I spoke obviously when I was in
Sure.
service. Um, French I should know. This
Okay.
is something my siblings and I are very annoyed at my mom at on specifically my mom, right? 'Cause that was her first two languages was French and Arabic being in Morocco.
Okay.
So I used to like as a kid when we were really all together as a family, like it was French and Arabic only like in the house, right?
Okay.
But then life happened and like we moved to New Jersey.
Mhm.
My another aunt moved to Israel. Another aunt moved to New York, and
Yeah.
people just whatever life happened.
Yeah.
Just how it happens nowadays. We spread out a bit, so less together all the time, so
Mhm.
less saturation of that language,
Sure.
and forgot the French, and like when we're around family, I'll pick up pieces here and there just from the childhood of
Right.
it. But yeah, so Hebrew and English now.
Does your wife get confused when you guys are speaking Hebrew around her or
No, so my wife also served.
oh, she was
Yeah,
also really
yeah, she's also in the IDF.
during the same time?
No, she's I'm 5 years older, so that was like the gap of
And you met in New York.
met in New York City. Yeah, we met in New York City because of our service, actually.
Okay, I was gonna say wait, so that I was gonna say, was that just by chance that you both served?
So yeah, I mean, it's by chance. So we have a mutual friend. We both know this mutual friend because of our backgrounds, meaning because of service. So Israel
Uh-huh.
was the connection of knowing that friend. That friend, knowing we both served, connected us. Like
Yeah.
he was the matchmaker
Right.
in
Wow.
this scenario. Yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah,
So, and she served what you said 5 years after you?
yeah, yeah.
It's dude, your story gets like better and better, honestly. That's like, it just shows how much like the Israel connection
Yeah.
brought all the way across like to New Jersey to now like St. Louis. It's just like, I don't know, it just makes you think about like, it's one of those things where like Jewish people are always just one connection away
Yeah.
from like the next person. Like
Exactly.
how many times do you sit down and talk to somebody and you're like, I know this person, how do you know them? And it's like it's so much back and forth, but like the fact that it led you guys together
Totally. Yeah.
like is crazy. And obviously we're glad to have you here in St. Louis now.
Yeah.
You've been here how long now, you said?
It's been close to 3 years now. So like almost 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite food in town. We'll wrap up.
Esca. Easy.
Okay, Aska.
But I say that like honestly it is Esca. I know,
No, it really is great food. Well,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
and for you especially because
yeah.
I always tell people, and Ben like would agree, I think for the most part, but like if you are a picky eater, like there is something for everybody at a lot of the places, but like you have to really like food to go like and explore because
Yeah, true,
Ben's
yeah.
like Ben's an explorative guy
Yeah.
like when it comes to food. I think that's like a main purpose of the Morocco trip is to
Yeah.
learn like the new way, like different ways to cook, unique ways to cook. But like I totally believe like when you say that because like it is so good. Everything there is just it's
So good.
made it's made with a purpose.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people
tell.
like put food together and it's just like they want it to taste good, but like I think one thing that makes Ben's restaurant so cool is like the story behind
Mhm.
the plate that you're eating.
Yeah.
So Aska, are you a fan of St. Louis style pizza, Emos or no?
It's so I mean, first before even getting there, is I want to say I was very pleasantly surprised by
Okay.
the quality of food in general in St. Louis when I
It's
came here.
good, right?
It is awesome. I think it's more than good. I think it's
Yeah.
awesome. I think it's extremely underrated.
Yep.
That said, I mean, I guess no one's gonna like come here to like check out restaurants, so whatever, fair. But when you are here, like I seriously think it's an extremely high bar, generally speaking, for like restaurants,
Yep.
food quality.
So you weren't impressed by Emos.
I think it's fine.
You're more of a New York style guy.
I think Katie's has really
Katie's
good
is
pizza.
great.
Really good pizza.
Great pizza.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Pasta's
like
good too, but
pasta's really good too. Yeah.
the pizza it's
excellent.
done well.
Yeah, it's excellent. It's like artisan pizza. I have to check out more. Like there is a few spots I have on my list that we haven't gone to yet that have like more New York style. That I have to check out. So I can't really, I can't yet comment on other
Okay.
pizza. But Katie's is really good for pizza.
Bagel. You don't have to say Ben's
Oh.
place, but
No, I know. It's in New City, relatively new spot. It's
Oh,
kosher.
you like Bagels and Bliss?
Yeah. So she
Is that
did,
what it is? Giddy's place?
Yeah, Giddy's. Yeah.
Giddy's place.
She did our Brit Milah for Boaz.
Is that right?
And it was awesome.
Really?
Yeah, it's really good. Really
Yeah, it's a
impressed.
good bagel. It's a
Yeah.
good bagel. I know that like we talk to a lot of people that come from New York and we're like, hey, a New York bagel is hard to find, but like Deli Divine's got them, Bagels and Bliss. Like there's places that are now starting to figure it out where it's nice to have it here in St. Louis. We haven't had it in a while. Some of the older places closed up, so it's nice to.
It's legit though.
It's legit. I'll finally. I guess I'll kind of just leave you with. Do you have a Yiddish word or term that you like to teach us? We're kind of trying to build our vocabulary. It doesn't need to be if there's one that sticks out to you. Like it could be good, bad. What we've heard them all. We've heard a lot. We've heard.
Well, I'm coming from more of the Sephardic side of things. So
Okay.
didn't necessarily have Yiddish growing up. So I don't know. I probably
Okay.
do have an answer though. Like if funny Yiddish words, I would recognize them. It's not that I don't.
Yeah. But
So I probably would have one, but at the top of my head, I can't. I just don't have
okay,
the answer
fair
to that.
enough.
Yeah.
We always like to try to learn something new, but I
Yeah.
think that's fun.
Good question.
We've heard.
Good
I know,
question.
right?
Yeah.
We've heard some. God, there was one. It was like,
I mean, there's a lot of funny words.
yeah, man. Honestly, like I think it's a fun language, but the fact that you do so many different things and like you're an interesting person, and honestly, like I think that it shows that, you know, Jewish people specifically, like each person has a different background and everybody's unique in their own way. I think everybody is, but I think that when you talk about our heritage and like where we come from, and I think that everybody's got such a unique, different story, and it's awesome. And I obviously love hearing yours. The fact that you and your wife both served, you have lived everywhere that you could live, and now you've ended up in St. Louis. I think it's awesome. So, I appreciate you sharing your story with us. Is there anything else that you want to leave us with?
I got to do a shameless plug.
Go ahead.
Before
We
leave
do
is-
shameless plugs.
Yeah, any builder, so developer or general contractor,
Yeah.
please reach out. I mean, a conversation, no expectations, but any conversation is super helpful. Just business
I
perspective.
love it.
And then last but not least, I got a podcast that I'm really really proud of, and kind of like growing month over month. It's called the Veterans Who Build Show.
Uh-huh.
The purpose is for veterans in the built environment. So that's like where my business is.
Yeah.
It's everything built environment. So construction, design, architecture,
Yeah.
development, etc. And the purpose is to just honor veteran stories, to talk about transition, military to civilian life, and then it's to talk about translatable skills, military to built environment. So the goal is to really just, kind of encourage a new pathway for service members who are becoming vets, to find a new purpose, mission in life, and
Yeah.
not get stuck in that transition.
It's awesome, man. Dude, you're an awesome guy. You're
Appreciate it, man.
interesting. You got good stories, good background, but you're just, I learned that you're just an overall like a good person.
Thanks,
And I
man.
think that that's hard to come by these days. So I'm glad that you came in, you agreed to do this and chat. And we appreciate you and hope that, other people can look at your story and be like, hey, that's awesome. I want to share as well. And hopefully connect with you
Yeah.
on other levels, obviously business, but personally as well. So we're glad to have you in St. Louis, dude. We appreciate you coming on with us.
Thanks so much, man. Really appreciate you
Yes,
having me. And
sir.
appreciate what you're doing.
No doubt, man.